you have characters that are like giants. You have the Higante. You have the clown, which you don't know, di ba? You have never heard that there were clowns in the old literature. We call them the gracioso. And they bring comic relief. So, katawanan ini siya. And then, there will be battles. So, the gracioso is the sidekick of the prince. Where the prince goes, the sidekick is there. But the sidekick is very powerful because he is the only one who can address the audience. Siya, uy, kay ba mo? Naay pista dito sa amo. Pwede mo mangadto, agi lang mo sa kusina, kay tagaan mo pagkaon sa kusinero, or something like that. And then, action again. And so, we can probably condense that, but we will, so to speak, highlight probably two very important, encounters. And so we can bring the Linambay back to life. Are you excited about that? We should be excited because we have a lot of cultural work to show not only the foreigners but the locals. People will come to Cebu not for the beaches anymore, not for the lechon, but they will come for the Linambay, they will come for all our different arts, for our songs, and the Linambay will be a performing art. It was a performing art. And actually, we have how many Linambays? 80? Or, yeah. Yeah, very, very many Linambays. We have Rakaid. We have lots of these. So, you can do probably 2. And then you can do the other Cebuano traditions. So, we have to think on our level, especially Karkar. You have to think about that because we would like the city to host. This was in your town. But we can also bring it to Cebu.
I am from Leyte, and I grew up with all the Linambays you can talk of. In all my 60, 70 years of existence, I thought that when I grew up from my first year until I was in high school, we have Linambay almost every fiesta in our barangay, in our town. We have to construct very huge stage with 3 levels. Dunay bukid, dunay kapatagan, kadagatan. Yan ay mga kuweba suod, and then it will wind up with what we term as the encanto. Na ay fireworks. Unya tanang klases liyon, na liyon libat, na liyon iang, and the clown that you mentioned earlier is what we term as bupon. So that's the term for the clown bupon. And then, the kind of versification, tawag na nila o garay. I can even give you a sample.
Go, sir.
Ang istorya niya, in fact, dili lang kay 9 days. Sa amo, abot yun o 12 days. Ang istorya, I can recall, and very recall, it was the story of the 12 pares. So it's a tale of one of the 12 pares every night. So 12 nights, wala nga among ikakunyawan sa unang, pahunong na ganila sa mga pare. Kaya every time there is Linambay, which lasts for about 9 or 10 or even 12 or 11, naay mo mag-dos pagkahuman. Wala yung problema. Kaya samtang mananaw sa Linambay, pagkahuman, mag-Linambayay mo sa
Sir, magaling, hindi pa rin sir.
Actually, that's true. If you read the writing of Concepcion Briones, she said that, it was a very vibrant time. People went there to see and be seen. And so they made really strong connections, and especially the teens, the young ones. And so it was not unheard of that after that Linambay, 9 months later, somebody would give birth. So that's really...
Ang istorya sa kato ang ngayon, ang prinsipe, ibiyaan sa iyang, kaya ang iyang gipanramang Romeo at Juliet ba, ang prinsesa na iyang nahigumaan, prinsesa sa mga Muslim, ang prinsipe, Kristiyanos, natural, di ka musugot. Okay, musugot, bunyagan man. Di ba sila musugot ng bunyagan? So, nag-uulog maayo ang prinsipe, nagibiyaan siya sa iyang uyab na prinsesa kay palakpot mo sila ay i-exile, kaya ron dito sila magkita. So, ang garay na akong giingon di ay ang itawagin na nila sa luwa. Kanti mo ka muluwa, kanti mo ka mubalak, garay-garay na ang prinsipe na nag-uulog maayo, gawa siya sa iyang monolog. And part of the monologue would go like this. Oh. Kurason sa akong dugan. Nagtristi o maayo ang akong kinabuhi, sukat ikaw migikan. Pagkaon ko wala na gana, muhurot na nagtag sa kaplanggana.
Muna nun, nagla kayo yan, kasing-kasing. Niya, magkaon na siya sa kaplanggana. Okay, so.
Oh, by the way, how do we do it? Actually, we will need a lot of cultural performers. So those of you who will really want to see Cebu to be revived, we will have to think seriously about this. You know, China, they top in terms of performance because they have a government unit where everybody will go through the ranks. You will begin on that level, but ang inyong pay is same. And when you go high up, so they have a licensing, so to speak. But then when they bring the show on stage, you will really say, grabe sila, wag man ni ani sa amuha, because they will give you the best and they will not hesitate on spending. And people, it's full pack with that job. And the stage bongga siya, and the dancers are really, and they have all the fireworks. So if China can do it, why can we not do it? And we have to get more people to think about how we can, you know, make so much use of our culture and be proud about this. So we have to see the Linambay soon. Maybe if not this year, next year. Oh, di ba? You wait for that.
Pero is it not na may performers sa Linambay? I think
But I think buhi pa siya sa Leyte.
yeah.
Linaw, in Linaw. But here in Cebu, it's...
Valladolid. Especially in Valladolid. Tuyong. Yes.
In behalf, maybe I was speaking for the Quirker government because I am from Quirker City College. That would be an honor that Linambay will be staged again, because honestly, I know Linambay just recently, everything about it, because I studied. Actually, sa normal, kaya mo i-approve na title. Okay. Joke. Actually, I proposed my titles, both local writers, Navarra, and Linambay, but they agreed on Linambay because they told me after you're done, submit this to NCCA. Which for me, it was not my plan, because I just want to finish my MA, and they told me something bigger to dream for that. But at the end, I realized it's really important to preserve our culture because, sad to say, even young Karkaranan, they do not know about Linambay. They do not even know who is Navarra. But and I gave them ang panimanos, and they okay, this is Navarra. Do you know where is Tuyum? What is Tuyum for this? And I said, wala please. So it is an honor, and maybe I could tell our government or our culture or tourism that there will be a restaging of Linambay. So as Karkaranan, I guess we need to support this because my study is based on the script. Because I have not gathered a video of the last staging of Linambay. So maybe if my stages are balik, so I could proceed the study on the theatrical already of the concept of Linambay. And advance thank you for the Cebuano Studies. I get my script from Cebuano Studies. I am studying Raka 8, which is then thank you so much for the opportunity.
Okay. So nakapagdaghan is actually you go to Jingjing nung sa Car City Museum, and they were able to napatoy mga manuscripts that I saw on the Linambay. No, so daghan kayo siyang class, daghan kayo ang mga linambay, no? So, thank you for that, Dr. Yu. So, I think, dili na kayo nato kaso, no? Unsa ka man nato pag-apply sa atong classrooms. We cannot apply the entire linambay, no, sa atong classroom. So, perhaps, usa lang ka, kuan lang tingali, no? Usa lang ka scene tingali ang atong pwede ma-apply, no, sa atong classrooms. Kaya otherwise, that would require you more than 9 days. Alright, so okay na tayo sa atong linambay. So let's proceed to the next. So now let's talk about lagda. No, kung imo tag lagda, ang atong nasunahuna, pirma. No, lagda sa Tagalog kay pirma man. But in this case, lahi na siya ang lagda. What's lagda? No, it's actually a book of conduct. No, so it's a book on how to live a good Christian life. It is a sample inventory of do's and don'ts of daily Christian behavior. So the earliest example could be the Cristiano Virtuoso by Father Pedro de Mercado in 1613. No, it is composed of 399 pages and consists of 80 chapters and divided into virtues. No, kung sabi nga mga virtues. No, like for instance, hope. No, we have the first virtue here. Hope, love, no, charity. Inana ang mga divide sila, inana ang virtues. Unsa may purpose ani? In order to teach people, no, kung unsaon pag-apply ani mga butang sa ilang kinabuhi. No, so it has a short instructive example. It has short instructive examples from the lives of saints and other ecclesiastical sources. No, another example is Niño en Sociedad, in Tratado de Urbanidad in 1893, which is devoted to social manners and stresses the obedience and respect for teachers, priests, and government leaders. Tingali kinahanglan kay taali karon, especially sa atong mga teachers nga naman usahay atong mga estudyante dili na motuon nato. Di ba? Makarelate pa mo anak, kinahanglan tingali taali abisan gani atong mga ginikanan kay usahay dili naman ta motuo sa atong mga ginikanan or sa atong government leaders. No? No, so the best example of lagda is La Teresa. Unya, if you're going to look at your kit, naa sa dihay excerpt, no, from La Teresa. That's actually chapter 3. Gisaway ang pagtuo sa wakwak o diwata. No, so tanawa, paminawa na ninyo, nindot, basahan na ninyo, di ba, nindot kayo. But the only problem there is that ang spelling niya, lisod kayo siya basahon. No, lisod kayo siya basahon. No, so, kano sa amin kung saan ni siya La Teresa? So, La Teresa is a 104-page novela in Boholano customs that imparted lessons on Christian upbringing, ethical standards, and social values. During its time, in 1852, this was daghan tulo kay namalit ani, no? So mura siya og kanang bestseller at the time. Ang second edition sa La Teresa was printed in 1906, and wala lang siya sa Bohol because copies, there were also copies in Cebu, in Negros, in Siquijor. So basically in Cebuano speaking kanang regions of Cebuano speaking provinces. Alright, so muna to, ang isultin nyo, ang gisaway ang pagtuo sa wakwak o diwata. So that's how it's spelled, man, no, in the excerpt. Then it emphasizes strong faith in God and the repudiation of superstitious beliefs labeled as hellish, no, infierno honon, so that people will not be misled and join them. No, so inana siya. So basically, ang kanigit siyang lagda, mura rin siyang basahon para, mura ba, kung isa-bisa pa, kapanaminan ba? No, kapanaminan nato, kung unsay maayong buhaton. Another example would be Urbana at Filisa. No, if we're going to talk about Tagalog or Filipino literature. No, what else? Mura man siguro na. No, there are many actually, no, mentioned by Sir Mojares, but this La Teresa seems to be the most popular. No, so please, I hope that you will read the excerpt, no, on kaning chapter 3. Now, how are we going to do this in our classrooms? Any suggestions? Oh, yes, Dr. Rubio again.
Para at least mo, well, when I asked my class about this, they would usually tell me that in the old times, it was very important to o di naman kayo siya mo amin ako. Ako na ganun, you kiss the hand of your elders, the father, the mother, because it shows the deep respect that you have. Now we don't have time, we just say hi, or I'm home, o sa'yo pa mo ikagtagayma, o nawa na ang one. But you know, if we bring this back again, we can tell our students that the practice of respect is an everyday commitment to respect and respect and respect until the end. Your parents, your elders. So you should not forget to do that, because every time you do this, you are signifying that I am going to respect you. It's just like, you know, when you kiss your your husband or your wife, it's like you show you care. It's just 1 second, about 5 seconds, but it means a lot. It means so much. So we have to remind people. Otherwise, the values will go. And so we can have them list. Okay, what practices do you have in your family? Dahil nag-pray of rosary, I do know somebody whose family prays the rosary every night. Every night. Do you do that? Not all. So, maybe you can give an example.
Okay, thank you for that, Dr. Rubio. Siguro ang atong mga mahimuan in the classroom is that it's more man pabasahon niya ko na to ang atong mga estudyante ani niya pahimuon na to sila og modern version no nga mag-emphasize pa of mga values. No kay naman ang ganing nga mga gipang storya ani nila kay murag mga pasay naman kaayo mga wakwak wala kang kay man manuo na to wakwak siguro karon no. So let's focus on the values na lang. So basically, ang emphasis lang yun ang lecture no is ang pagtudlo sa Christian faith and of course values. Alright, so next. Now we have the novenas and the gozos. No, so ang kanyang mga novenas, they were composed by missionaries to honor Jesus, Mary, and the saints. Then the novenas are mainly prayers extolling the virtues and miracles of saints to be said for 9 consecutive days, meant to ask favors. No, there's an emphasis. Meant to ask favors. Kung ang uban na ko, mag-novena ko sa Santo Niño, kaya na ako ipangayo. No, there are married couples today who still go to the Basilica to say the novena in the hope of kanang kuan, para mga anak ba, manamkon. And then, or to honor the divine person or a saint prior to a feast day. No, so daghan ito ng mga novena in our chapels, tingali, or in our families, if we still have these traditions in our families. Then at the end of the novena, the gozos is recited or sang. No, so ang best example would be, we also have it in our kit, gozos sa Santo Niño and gozos alang sa mga minatay. Can somebody please read gozos kang Santo Niño? This was first published in 1888, but I think, no, in my opinion, this could have been older. Nga naman, because there is an evidence here man nga it's older kay naghisgot pa man diha og ang Santo Niño nag-on kuno sa baybayon og kanang kumangita sila kuwan ilang Santo Niño sa baybayon ilang biguon kay para muuwan. No, so it's an evidence nga this was even older than 1888. Anyone could read? The first 5 lang. Anyone? Or kinsay gusto mo kanta? Naa siya sa Hispanic, ma'am, niya, after siya sa La Teresa. There's a page, no? But that's the page number sa book. That's page 68. Anyone who would like to volunteer? Or kinsa may ganahan mo kanta? Oh, sige. After ana kanan sa minatay ato pakantahon. Okay. Okay, ma'am. Sige, ma'am, please. Ari sa front, ma'am. I-recite, ma'am, then after you sing the modern version, please.
Gozos kang Santo Niño, bato balani sa gugma sa daang tao pinamika. Bato balani sa gugma sa daang tao palangka.
Okay, ma'am, read the first 3 lang.
Kanamo maluoy kaunta nga kanimo na nilaba. Ang sa subong pagkadunggo sa mga katsinang tao, dinhi ipalgan ikaw sa usa kanilang sundalo, kay ania ikaw napangita gikan lamang sa imong gugma.
Okay, kanamo maluoy kaunta nga kanimo man nilaba.
Ang balay nga ipalgan sa imong katahuman, nahimo nga kapilingban sa mga taong daghanan nga ang tanan naningala kay ginhan mo sila kay
kanamo maluoy kaunta
nga kanamo na nilaba.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. No, so this is actually different, no, from the gozos that's being sung today. Kaya naman, ang ganang siyang gozos na that's sung today at the Basilica del Santo Niño has been revised man, no, para mahimo siyang theologically correct. Because ang kini siya mo dili man gud siya theologically correct. Mura siya superstitious pa kayo ba? No, so nausab naman po nausab naman ang paghuna-huna sa simbahan karon. So mo nang kuan nila, mo nang giusab nila. Like unsa may example ana nga dili siya correct katong akong gisulti. Kung ulan ang pangayoon o imong pagadugayon, dadalon ka sa baybayon o sa dagat pasalomon. O dayon nila makuha ang ulan nga gitimuha. No, so today you will be frowned upon man if you're going to do that. If you're going to say this, kaya naman this is theologically wrong man. Kaya naman siya, mura man siya treat ang Santo Niño as an idol. No, so mo nang gitangtang nila. And that's the reason why the gozos today has been revised. Now we go to the next gozos, which is found on page 74. No, and that's the gozos alang sa mga minatay. No, so ay tao nga mangiloyon ug among gilauman sa langog nga among gipuy-an, inyo kaming manabangan. Ay niagi na kami ni anang walok nga luhaan ug kanamo walay motabang. Dili ninyo hikalimtan nga ang mga balos babaslan. Sa langog nga among gipuy-an, inyo kaming panabangan. Gilibutan man kami sa kasakit na daghanan, sa kalayo nga masika, o dili gayon mapagnan. Kay gihuyok kanunan sa Diyos nun nga kinaadman. Sa langog nga among gipuy-an, inyo kami panabangan. Alright, ganun naghisgot man siya langog. Diba, when we die, diba, there is this thought man nga, we go to heaven or we go to hell. Diba? So kanang wala man ingon nga kanang sa impyerno nga among gipuy-an, inyo kaming panabangan. Di ba? Kaya dili naman to sila matabang. No, niya. Ang concept man sa purgatory at that time was more the absence of God. No, niya mo nang absence man siya sa God. So murag ilang gi-portray diha is naa sila sa langog. Kay dili man sila makakita. No, dili sila makakita sa Ginoo. So mo na ang atong punong, in order to help them, what we do is we pray for them. No, so mo na siya ang bosos alang sa mga minatay. Dili na siya literal na langog. No, it's actually the absence of God. Okay, so we go to the next. Examples, naapaday yung Venus ko na examples ko. So, mo rin hindi ako nakita nga pinakakaraan sa mga examples sa novenas. You have the novena de Santa Teresa de Jesus, patrona de sa Talisay in la provincia de Cebu. Poron Devoto de la Santa by Father Carlos Diego, Manila, Imprenta de Santo Tomas, 1870. Then you have kasayuran sa kinabuhi ni San Guillermo Duque de Aquitania o novena sa among santos na hinusay o bibisaya ni Padre Mateo Diez Agustino Calzado o Cura Paroko sa Dalaguete, Manila, Imprenta de Amigos de Pais, 1878. Laktod na istorya sa Nuestra Señora de Regla nga gitahod sa Chipiona o usang patrona sa lungsod sa Opong. Gisundan sa iyang novena o gibinisaya nga tanan sa usa ka Padre Agustino sa Sugbo by Father Mateo Diez Ambobong Pequeña, Imprenta de Asilo de Huerpanos, 1893. So I think there are still other older novenas, but this one is based from a work by a Spanish historian. Okay. This is the source. You have Father Policarpo Fernandez's The Agustinians in the Philippines. No, so tanang mga literature that were written by the Agustinians no na adere gibutang di published. Okay. Alright, so ana. So next is passion. No, ang sa Cebu dili kayo popular ang passion karon. If we are going to talk about passion, what comes to mind is mga Tagalog region kaya naman before ang Semana Santa magpasyon sila. No, but today ang sa Cebu wala man kay taani, but there are a few no nga naay few examples sa passion sa Cebu. No, so the oldest versions are Iloco in 1621, Tagalog 1704, in Visayan in 1717. Then Pangasinan, 1855, then Cebuano, 1884. No, so these versions of the Passion are modeled after or combine the elements of the Old and New Testaments, apocryphal stories, or early Christian legends, either drawn from romances or oral lore, and the folk imagination. No, asan pa makakita o copy sa Passion? We have at the Cebuano Study Center, and then if you're going to visit Casa Gorordo Museum, I think they have a version of the Passion in manuscript, and that's 1883. No, dili kayo daghan ang Passion diri sa Cebu. Wala man kayo ni nato gi-practice. Then after the Passion, you have Daigón. No, so the Daigón was brought to the Philippines in the 17th century. It is meant to bring cheer to people for the birth of the Messiah. In 1960, according to an article in Bisaya Magazine by Esteban David, nikuan siya, nireklamo siya, ang iyang isulti, mo ni. Kalahi inakaroon itanding sa mga Daigón sa atong mga katigulangan. Kanhi sa katugnaw sa kagabhion sa Pasko, ang mananaygon magpugi pagpatpat sa himpit nga kaagi sa ninyo. Nga naman, kaya ang kaagi sa ninyo kuno is 13 chapters man. Karon kantahan na malangkag usa ka linya sa Daigón, no? Karon commercialize na kay atong Daigón. Bato kay kag jeep gani, Daigón man ka, ate, kuya, dili man dili mi tulisan ha. Ma'am. Manaygon lang ni. Unya, ginuang na dayon ang kuwan, ang Daigón. No, so ang Daigón supposedly, it should have ang emphasis ana niya is ang kuan good, ang birth sa Bisaya. No, so in the traditional Daigón, it had 13 parts, no? Ang pagminyo ni Maria o ni Joseph, pagkunsad sa anghel, ang pagmando ni Cesar Augusto, ang pagsulat sa Belen, then sa kamalig sa baka, mga daygon sa pagkatao sa Misiya. Unya, 2 parts na ang daygon. Nga naman, kana sila, kantahon na sila from the start of the Christmas season until December 25. Because in December 26, no, until I think February 2, nga naman, sa may significance sa February 2, we have the longest Christmas season man in the Philippines, di ba? It starts was bare months na gani, wala. In fact, gani, nagtugugay sa Rumi gahapon, wala, Pasko na sila. Christmas in July, no? So, taas mo dito, ilang Pasko dito, no? So, ang Pasko mo sa Pilipinas, it starts with the bare months, no? It's in September and ends on February 2. Also, may significance there is February 2. Chinese New Year. Naisig na skuan, naisig na Ginoo. Okay, actually, it's the presentation of our Lord, no? Candelaria. O, handa na mo end. So, ang December 26 to February 2, mo na ilang kantahon. Mga daygon human sa Pasko. No, ang milagro sa trigo, pag-abot sa Ehipto, ang paghinagbo kang Dimas Iscariote, sa balay ni Dimas, ang milagro sa pagpanglaba. Was it ever mentioned ka ng laba ang Birhen Maria? O, tingali? No, wala man siya ganyan lang. Kitsa mo na sa Dimas Iscariote. No, so muna gitawag no nga apocryphal. No, so these are not actually in the Bible. No, imbento na lang tingali nila ba? No, so hindi na gina siya biblical. But then the emphasis here is nindot yun ang ilang daygon sa una. Kaya naman, it was kanang heartily performed. No, naging siya i-cheer ba sa Pasko. Di karon nga, di pareha karon nga commercialized na. Okay, sa uli na ito apply sa long klase. Muna'y pangutana. Ang naman sa ito, ato pa naigunan na ato estudyante, Hulyo pa. Christmas in July, ma'am. Hindi ako nga ato sa June. No, Christmas in June. No, so, muna, no, lisod na siya, no. So, I think, mustik na lang ito sa katong mga, kung ano lang, traditional na daigon, no, like, kasadya ng taknaan. No, ang pangutana, niya, asan ko rin nagpuna? Ang kasadya ng taknaa o ang kanang Tagalog na version? Di ba? O ang basic na ang original yung kuno ang kasadya ng taknaa. But then, i-plagiarize sa mga Tagalog. Yan muna nang naa sila'y ang Pasko ay sumakit. No, so originally it's, I think it's by Vicente Rubi. No, so muna siya ang original Okay, so sources na. So these are the sources I used. Daghan ani kang Sir Resin Muhares, okay. Daghan gid kayo gitunan si daghan gid kayo no ang gistudihan ni Sir Resin. And hopefully no iampo taon na nato no na in this year si Sir Resin would become the first Cebuano national artist. No, I think the latest is ni pasar na siya sa ikaduhang na interview. Nanay last na interview before it goes to Duterte. No, so we hope na we will have a national artist soon who happens to be the founder of the Cebuano Study Center. Okay, so I think more na daghang salamat o may hapon. Questions na. Sorry ha, wala kita mo na-entertain, parihan na hindi ganina. Okay, questions, please.
Pwede mag-break sa map? Mag-break sa map.
Sir, wala ma-appeal ah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appeal na siya ang pastores, sir. There is a certain family in a mountain barangay in Naga who still performs the pastores. So ang ilang buhapon na is they go house to house na tingali niya ang ilang pagdaigon na I think would take very long, like 30 minutes na tingali. So it's rarely done nowadays ang pastores. So we have that tradition day ng pastores. Any more questions? Yes, ma'am. Ang sugat, ma'am, I think new invention naman siguro na, kaya wala man kayo sila. If you're going to read the Spanish text, wala man sila kanang, wala sila inana ba, ano ba, murang bangko lang din na, murang ako lang siguro na nga-adapt tingali. Although, yung kanila is known for that. Okay, I think na-announcement si Sir Rafi.
We will have our break for 15 minutes, and then after we return for more questions and then demo. So, birthday snacks, ito ginapon sa lobby.
So, we cut short our open forum earlier because we had to take a break. So I think this is now the time for us not to ask questions if we have questions, other questions, because we also have other experts here now who can perhaps elucidate on certain topics that we'd like to. Questions, please. So if we don't have questions, I think we can hear. I heard that we can hear samples. I think naatoy ni volunteer ganina. I heard na naino ni volunteer ganina na mo-perform kung bosos alang sa mga minatay. Sir, yes sir. Yes sir. Yes sir. Sige sir. And then I think we also have an adaptation of Urbana and Felisa. No, that's by Dr. Hopio, but then there's somebody here from Siliman na ay copy sa adaptation ni Dr. Hopio. I think it's Anastasia and Soledad. Oh, si Anastasia o si Soledad. But would you be willing, ma'am, to share kung unsay content ato, ma'am? To share to the group what the content of that kanang kuan?
I think Dr. Lewis.
But first, let's hear from Sir. He's going to read Gosos alang sa mga minatay. So I think he can read it for us with feelings. No, from the heart to the
with emotions.
Sir, please come up front, sir. Para dili sa tubangan guys.
Okay, this is the first time that I'll do it. Okay,
Yeah, wait, sir. So, ang responsori na lang, kami na lang kanang sa lamong ibuyan, hindi mo kami harangan. Para mamatag na ko mamatag na ako sa mga nasayo. Sige.
yeah, I guess it would be better if somebody is going to lie down here in front as well. Any volunteer? Jingo England?
Okay, sige, sir, go.
Ay tao mong kiloy-on, o gamong kilauman.
Sa lamong bagong ibuyan, hindi kami panaman.
Ay may agi na kami niya, walog na luwaan, o kanamo walay mutabang, dili ninyo kalimtan, nga magabalos mabaslan.
Sa lamong ibuyan, hindi kami panaman.
Kilibutan man kami sa kasakit kadaghanan, sa kalayo nga masiga, o gini kayo papagngan, kay gihuyog kanunay sa Diyos to na kinaadman.
Sa lamong ibuyan, hindi kami panaman.
Ang pagsidatan sa walay pagtagang gayon, nga sa inon nga batasan, na imo maging takos ting among nga puloy-anan.
Sa lamong ibuyan, hindi kami panaman.
Ang lima kabalatian na riyandayan sa lawas, o gigamit sa tao sa iyang kasalanan, isakitong dako din hibalos sa lipayan.
Sa lamong ibuyan, hindi kami panaman.
Ang labing dakong pag-antos, ining pagabutangan, di na kasakitan ko dili ang kadugay lamang sa panatubang sa Diyos na among gikahitlawan.
Sa lamong ibuyan, hindi kami panaman.
Kalimot nga walingon ang sa kaubanan na di ang pumalang sa among sa wala sila pagpalandong sa ilang katigulangan.
Sa lamong ibuyan, hindi
also integrate sa mga bayot nga version. Actually, I've not memorized it, but I guess it would be very more parody of that style. Oh, humorous style. Okay.
Pwede mo, ano? Ay, sila na kami.
Oh, Give us a version ito. How are we going to integrate that sa in the class? Like, there's already a contemporary part of it, I mean, because of this particular type of literary genre and form of literature during the Spanish time, Filipinos nowadays, especially the gays, have their own version of it.
Pero siguro, you cannot present it in front of class. Tingnan ni kay mura man gusto. Although that's humorous, but I think mura man sila may pagkabastos kung tinalik. So, tinalik, if we are going to encourage our students to learn about the Gosos, I think pahimuon lang nato sila Gosos, but then we will have to base it on somebody who's heroic pa, na-ashamed virtues pa. Because remember, the Gosos or all these things that were taught during the Spanish era were actually about virtues, no? About values. You know, so in that case, murang siya ginukang na good niya, murang na siya ka na, o ano ba, murang sacrilegious na ikaw kayo, you know, although I heard that, no? I heard that.
That's why there's social media.
And then, of course, no, those who have not actually heard na how it is being said no in Cebuano, that was actually how it was said in Cebuano. Katong pag-pronounce niya na paspas kayo, because I used to hear my lola who was a mananakdan say it like that, no, paspas kayo. No, mawitaw na if you go to the cemetery niya magparosaryo mo, wapagay na human ang Hilmeri, naka-father na siya. Di ba? Kung paspas kayo ba, wapagay kakatubag, wala, human na. No, so that's actually, but then let us emphasize, no, kini siya, this is actually about virtue. So if magtudlo na siguro tag binuang, mura na siya kanyang, we should say that not as part of the lesson na tinali, because as much as possible, being teachers, we should teach our students values. No, tinali sa kawas na lang dinili. But if we can look for something more positive.